So, about the whole gay thing, some have said that I should be kissing a girl. Well, that might be possible, but only after you. If you post a video of you kissing a guy, then maybe I will post a video of me kissing a girl, because kissing a girl, that's common. Everyone's seen it, no big deal, but two guys doing it, that's different. So, today we will talk about a very interesting topic. Let's get down to business. This is not about a video about girl kissing a girl. And according to the U.S. Army manual, terrorism is the calculated use of violence or threat of violence for certain goals that are political, ideological in nature, through intimidation, coercion, or instilling fear. Why am I talking about terrorism? Well, I want to talk about the current leader of the Liberal Party of Canada, Michale Ignatieff, his view on terror, because it's important to get to know the man that is the leader of the oppositional party that could be a prime minister one day. And also he's against the coalition idea, and it's never going to work now. Anyways, Michale Ignatieff distinguished three types of terrorism: lonely terrorism, self-determination terrorism, and the terrorism of the global spectacular. He's the kind of guy who believes in like Western democracies and like instilling democracy and free. Leader of the Liberal Party of Canada, Michale Ignatieff, his view on terror, because it's important to get to know the man that is the leader of the oppositional party that could be a prime minister one day. And also he's against the coalition idea, and it's never going to work now. Anyways, Michale Ignatieff distinguished three types of terrorism: lonely terrorism, self-determination terrorism, and the terrorism of the global spectacular. He would give examples of terrorists like Palestinian suicide bombers, Timothy McVeigh, or the dude that killed Kennedy and that tried to kill Ronald Reagan, the Columbine murderers, the Washington sniper, and of course Al-Qaeda. Those are, mainstream examples of what terrorists look like. But according to a contrary viewpoint, a more leftist viewpoint, according to Noam Chomsky, he would also mention the idea of state-sponsored terrorism, which Ignatieff doesn't seem to talk about in his academic paper. State-sponsored terrorism, Noam Chomsky would consider the car bombing in Beirut in 1985 as organized by CIA and the Saudi client with the assistance of British intelligence as an example of state-sponsored terrorism, or Israel's invasion of Lebanon, which left 18,000 people dead, or the U.S. attack on Nicaragua in 1986, condemned by the International Court of Justice and the UN as an act of terrorism. So there is these two viewpoints about terrorism. So it seems to me that there is this liberal viewpoint where the West usually never committed terrorism because they are the good people, and the other more leftist view that that we are all guilty of terrorism. And it might be interesting to note that Michale Ignatieff also supported the war in Iraq. He supported U.S. invasion in Iraq. In response to the Canada opposition to the Iraq war, he once said that what I felt was disappointing about a lot of Canadians' opposition to the war was that very few people seem to give a damn about human rights situation. Very few people seem to care about peace and the consequences of leaving 26 million people inside really odious tyranny, like preventive or investigative detention, targeted killing, intensive interrogation as a necessary part of the war on terror. Some people would say that he supported torture, and I don't know if Ignatieff supported torture, but he definitely has a very, Bush-like view on torture, and that's kind of disappointing. And also, he said that the discovery that Hussein didn't have weapons after all didn't surprise me, but it didn't change my mind about the essential issue. He did not believe that the American or British leader misrepresented Hussein's intention or lied about the weapon. And when asked about the bad history of U.S. foreign policy and how it could be hypocritical of the U.S. to bring freedom and democracy into Iraq, considering the many things that they have done to other countries for not so noble purposes, he noted that good deeds are often done by people with bad histories. And finally, recently, when he was asked about with the interview with Toronto Star to comment on the July 30 Israel bombing at the time of Qadeda, where at least 54 Lebanese civilians were killed in a single missile strike. Ignatieff replied, "This is the kind of dirty war you're in when you have to do this, and I'm not losing any sleep over that." And he believed that I framed my condition for the use of military in the belief that force can be only justified to achieve military objectives. So he also supported the military intervention over Kosovo in 1999, just like the war in Iraq. It did not have the UN authorization. So I get the sense that, you know, the current Liberal leader of the Liberal Party is not necessarily the most pro-peace person, and not necessarily the most pro-UN person. And it's funny that he spent most of his time outside Canada, and he's coming in just like that to become the leader of the oppositional party. I don't know, but he is the mainstream alternative to Stephen Harper. Maybe not such an alternative.